Today's lesson is about translating inequalities. Your learning target says, I can correctly translate worded text into a mathematical inequality. I'm going to add to that and graph it. All right, I want you to make this chart in your interactive math notebook. You don't need very much space for your symbol. You need a little more space for your meaning or your word phrase. And then grab those word bank choices that I gave you in class. See if you can place them where you believe they belong and write the word phrases that match each symbol. Pause me while you work. All right, here are the answers. So will you double check that you have your phrases in the right spot? That'll be really important. Pause me while you check and come back when you're ready to move on. So we're going to practice with some examples, but I want you to understand what order we're going to write our inequalities in. We're going to start with our variable. Let's call it x. It could be any variable. And then we have a symbol, one of those off of your chart. We're going to say it's greater than or less than. And then we're going to end with our number. So your inequalities are going to be in that order: variable, symbol, number. But not only do you have to translate the inequality, you have to be able to graph it. So you're going to be using a number line, and you're going to be using a different symbol based on whether you have your number as part of the solution set or not part of the solution set. So this is called an open circle. And so let's say that your answer was something is less than 5. It doesn't equal 5, so that's sort of like a barrier. It's an open circle around 5. And then we would color in, since I said less than, we would color in everything that's less than 5 but not including 5. So your open circle would deal with if you have a less than or a greater than. So let me undo that. All right, let's say that you had, your number is part of the solution set, so you have something like x is greater than or equal to 12, let's say. So I'd do my number line, and since 12 is part of the solution set, I would color that in, and I said greater than or equal to 12, so I have to fill in everything bigger than and including 12, and so that's why I have a closed circle. Okay, so let's try some examples together. First, we're going to translate, then we're going to graph. So the water level is above 45 inches. So I need a letter for water level. I think I'm going to use a W. I'm going to hold off on this for just a second, and I know what my number is, 45. So I'm going to think this through. It's above 45, but not equal to 45. So I think that my symbol needs to be greater than 45. And then when I go to graph it, I'm kind of a lazy grapher. I put my target in the center, one bigger and one smaller. And then notice that this is, I shouldn't have used an underline, sorry. This means 45 is not part of the solution set. The solution set is everything bigger than 45, but not including. So I'm going to put a circle and color in everything bigger than, but not including 45. Okay, let's try this one. We're going to translate. We're going to graph. No more than 18 people are allowed in the gallery at one time. So I'm going to use P for the number of people. And I know my number is 18. So I have to think about what symbol is going to go with no more than. So I'm going to ask myself 3 questions. Could it be less than 18? Well, yeah, less than 18 would be no more than. Could it be exactly 18? Yeah, that's no more than. Could it be bigger than 18? Well, here's where the answer is no, I can't have more. I could have less than or equal to 18. So when I'm ready to graph, I'm going to be lazy and put an 18 and one bigger and one smaller. This says that 18 is part of my solution set, so I can have 18 people or less than 18 people, but no more. So there's my graph. All right, I want you to try this one without me. See if you can come up with the letter, the symbol, the number, and then graph it correctly. And when you're ready to come back and check, come on back. Okay, so I need a symbol, or a letter, sorry. So students, I'm going to use S. I need a number, I'm going to use 25. Then I need a symbol. So I'm going to think about 3 questions. Are there less than 25 kids in the odd if there's at least 25? No. Is there exactly 25 if there's at least 25? Yes. Is there more than 25 if we have at least 25 kids? And yes, the answer is I want something that is greater than or equal to 25. So here's my number line, 25, one bigger, one smaller. It is part of the solution set, so I could have exactly 25, so I'm going to color in my dot, or I could have more than that because I have at least 25. Your turn again. I want you to try this one without me. You're going to translate and graph, and when you're ready for checking, come on back. Okay, so I know I need a letter, and we're talking about fish, so I'm going to use F. I know I need a number, so that's 8. And I know there are fewer than 8. So I'm going to ask my same questions. Could there be less than 8? Yeah. Could there be exactly 8 if there are fewer than? And the answer to that is no. Could there be more if there are fewer than 8? No. So I'm going to have a less than. The fish are less than 8. All right, so here is my number line. I'm going to put my target in the center, one more, one less. It is less than, but not including 8, so I need an open circle, and everything less than, but not including 8.